Take a moment and really look at what just happened. Now that the massive showdown between Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje has officially come to an end, almost everything said before the fight suddenly feels outdated. What played out inside that cage was something no one could fully predict. It did not unfold the way most analysts, experts, or even die-hard fans expected. The gap between what people thought would happen and what actually happened was enormous. This result instantly became one of the most heavily debated and emotionally charged outcomes in recent MMA history. Fans tuned in expecting a clean narrative, a straightforward winner, and a simple explanation. Instead, they witnessed a savage, unpredictable, nerve-wracking war filled with shocking moments that forced nearly everyone to question their assumptions and rethink how they viewed both fighters. Even comparisons to Michael Chandler started surfacing as people struggled to fully process what they had just seen.
I don't want to look like a loser right now, but everyone saw I was better than Justin that fight, but the UFC wanted him to win. The lad smashed my eye with his finger. I had to play all of the rounds with a broken eye, which is not fair.
Obviously delivered in the main event, capped off with a war. Just give us your thoughts on Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett delivering a 5-round battle.
Yeah, I mean, what a couple. So Paddy Pimblett at the weigh-ins yesterday says, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out tomorrow. And I was like, that's interesting. And he never abandoned that game plan. Even when, he got dropped a couple times, I kept waiting for him. I'm like, he's eventually going to have to shoot and try to submit him. Now, I didn't know Paddy Pimblett had a chin like that till tonight. And, yeah, absolute dogfight in a war, and much respect to both guys.
We haven't seen Justin yet, so we don't know what his status is physically. But, I mean, is the interim, is the unification fight have to be next? Or is there a case if he's hurt and needs to be out for a while?
Apparently he's 100%. So we sent Paddy Pimblett straight to the hospital, and then we're going to send Gaethje too. And Gaethje's like, believe me, I've been in plenty of wars. I'm good. So as far as we know right now, he's...
That fucker's right. Scousers do not get knocked out. That Scouser does not get knocked out.
I'm a Scouser. We don't get knocked out. We don't get knocked out. I take that all day.
Hold on. My God. What a fucking gangster. Scousers do not get knocked out. That Scouser does not get knocked out.
Hold on.
My God. Hey. It couldn't even beat the David guy in a ring contest.
From the very first bell, opinions were sharply divided. It was almost a perfect split. On one side were those backing Paddy, convinced that his unpredictable movement and natural grappling ability would overwhelm Justin Gaethje, dragging him into a messy, uncomfortable fight that never settled into rhythm. They believed the chaos would favor Paddy over time. On the other side were supporters of Justin, who trusted his raw power, durability, and commitment to punishing every reckless move Paddy made. They believed Justin would methodically make him pay for each aggressive entry. That deep divide in expectations is what made the fight so compelling. Every strike, every feint, every exchange had the potential to completely change the narrative in seconds. The atmosphere inside the arena shifted constantly because neither fighter allowed the other to establish any sense of comfort or flow. The pace never slowed, and the tension never eased.
Michael Chandler. He's taken on the highlight Justin Gaethje. 26 wins, 5 losses, 20 KOs. The dude fucking KOs people. Early on, he'd calf kick the fuck out of people. He'd calf kick people where they couldn't take it anymore. He had many TKOs from calf kicks alone. The guy is just a dense fucking ball of muscle, built for fighting. 37 years old now. He's crumpled people with his left hook. He's crumpled people with his right hand. Paddy Pimblett is going to have to be very careful throwing his flurries on Justin Gaethje, Justin Gaethje will sit down and rip a left hook, or sit down, drop his head, and launch a right hand. That's Justin Gaethje's ways to win. He could KO.
Then there was Tim Welch, a sharp observer who analyzed the matchup through a very specific lens: power and timing. Welch repeatedly highlighted Justin Gaethje's devastating calf kicks and his precise counter-striking as the earliest and most important turning points of the fight. According to him, those elements could reshape the contest almost immediately. His argument was brutally simple and deeply accurate. Damage to the legs, especially calf kicks, changes everything. It disrupts balance, limits movement, and most importantly alters how a fighter reacts defensively. When mobility is compromised, natural evasive instincts fade. Welch also pointed out that Paddy Pimblett's aggressive forward entries, while exciting, leave openings that a calm and dangerous striker like Justin can exploit instantly. One clean opportunity is all Justin needs. Still, Welch admitted something crucial. As the fight stretched on, the advantage slowly drifted toward the unpredictable scrambles and chaotic grappling exchanges where Paddy thrives. That is where Paddy's refusal to become passive, even on the ground, could create a surprising path to victory. In Welch's view, this was never a reckless gamble. It was a calculated risk, a chess match where either fighter could be proven right depending on which key moment arrived at exactly the wrong time for the other.
See fucking Justin Gaethje with the title around his waist. He earned it. Justin Gaethje's fought all these fucking monsters his whole goddamn career. Edson Barbosa, Donald Cerrone, Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, Habib, Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira, Fiziev twice, Dustin Poirier again, Max Holloway. Like, holy shit. He's fought the elite. So I'd love to see Justin Gaethje get it done. If I had to put, fuck, this is hard. If someone gave me $10,000 to bet with, and they said, hey, put it on who you think's going to win. God. I'm going to say 60-40. 60-40. 40% chance that Justin Gaethje knocks Paddy Pimblett out. Hits him on his chin. When Paddy Pimblett's flooring, hits him right on his hits him right on the scouser chin. Bunk. Gets dropped. 40% chance, I think. 60% chance this fight, Justin's not able to find him. It's a little bit, it's like a spastic, weird style. He's not able to find his chin. If Paddy Pimblett puts him on his back, it's going to be a long.
Next came Teddy Atlas, a legendary mind in combat sports, who approached the fight like a master strategist studying a chessboard. Atlas focused heavily on Justin Gaethje's footwork, positioning, and discipline. He did not believe Justin should stand still and trade punches simply to excite the crowd. Experience only matters, Atlas argued, when it is applied intelligently. A fight should not devolve into chaos just because the audience demands it. Effectiveness always matters more than entertainment. At the same time, Atlas gave Paddy Pimblett real credit for how much he has grown. He noted that Paddy looked stronger, calmer, and far more composed in long, grinding exchanges than most people expected. While praising Gaethje's veteran polish and high fight IQ, Atlas surprisingly leaned toward Paddy. His reasoning was simple: youth and momentum can be incredibly dangerous, especially late in fights when fatigue builds and decision-making slows. In Atlas's experienced view, Paddy had more room to adapt round by round without losing confidence or panicking. That ability to adjust on the fly, to evolve under pressure, often becomes the deciding factor in fights that push deep into championship rounds.
Will youth be served with Pimblett? Maybe. Gaethje, experience, good striker. He's well-rounded everywhere. But he's got to use the assets of a smaller guy. We've seen it, where you got to box, you got to use your legs, you got to set traps. You know, he's got the capability of doing that. Outmaneuver, outflank Pimblett. You know, Pimblett, let me tell you, he has improved a lot over the last 2 years. He really has, bud. He has gotten better. He's gotten more. You could see he's come into his own. Confidence-wise, physically, he's in great shape. They usually all are. But he's improved. His striking has improved. He's a good wrestler, grappler. But he loves to strike. That's what's going to make this fight really interesting and good. They're both going to strike.
Then the veteran commentator distilled the entire situation down to one painful, unavoidable question. Can Paddy Pimblett truly absorb Justin Gaethje's legendary power without breaking? It sounds simple, but the weight behind it is enormous. Max Holloway's perspective was that if, and this was a huge if, Paddy could survive the impact of Gaethje's strikes, then he possessed the instincts to turn those moments into grappling control and sudden momentum shifts. Those shifts, Holloway emphasized, can change everything in an instant. He also made it clear that Justin does not need volume to dominate a fight. Every clean strike he lands carries serious consequences. One perfectly timed punch or kick from Gaethje can erase an entire round of hard work in seconds, often before Paddy or anyone else can establish rhythm. That ever-present danger is what kept everyone watching with absolute focus.
I think the over-under is like
2.5 rounds.
How many?
2.5 rounds over minus 115.
All right, listen. Again, we have a pretty good record here, but, you know, I mess up once in a while. I do. That's why it's gambling. But I like the over. I mean, if Gaethje fights the perfect fight, you never know. You never know. But I know who the judges are probably favoring. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. It shouldn't be anything about that. It should just be about what goes on in the cage or in the ring. But I can't help myself but think about things that I see. So maybe, you know, Gaethje would really have to do a job, I think, to get it, which he could. But I think I'd probably favor Pimblett a little bit. But at the end of
Finally, Merab Dvalishvili, the embodiment of relentless pressure, viewed the matchup as a true 50-50 contest. No middle ground. He outlined two brutal possibilities. In the first, Justin Gaethje steadily breaks Paddy Pimblett down with constant pressure, heavy strikes, and relentless output, leading either to a late finish or a dominant decision. In the second, Paddy survives the early storm and drags the fight into chaotic grappling exchanges, where momentum slowly and quietly begins to shift away from Justin without anyone immediately noticing. For Merab, the deciding factor was not skill alone. He believed both fighters had the tools to win. What mattered most was pain tolerance and the ability to make smart decisions under extreme pressure. Over 5 exhausting rounds, fatigue does not arrive suddenly. It builds layer by layer until it becomes overwhelming. The fighter who can endure that weight while still choosing the right moments, making the smarter decisions, becomes the one who controls how the fight truly unfolds when it matters most.
And maybe almost like a Oliveira fight, you know, catch Gaethje, hurt Gaethje wobble, and then, you know, get to Gaethje's back or something. Maybe subtle. You know what I mean? Like, Paddy is very well rounded. You know, he out wrestled wrestlers, he out grappled grapplers. He stands with you. You know, he doesn't care. He throws. You know, everybody be like his chin is in the air. He takes shots. Yeah, he takes shots and he still walk forward. How long will that last? We don't know. And that's the question I have to this fight. Or what his reaction is going to be when Justin Gaethje catches him. Because Justin Gaethje punched like a truck. He